The following podcast contains coarse language and adult themes. This week on the show, look, up in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane, no, it's another podcast about Superman. I'm Reegs.
I'm Addy.
And this is the Filmatics Podcast. Hey friends, and welcome back to the Filmatics Podcast. It's Superman Day, it's Superman Week, it's Superman Times. We're talking about it. It's very exciting because both me and Addy couldn't have given less of a fuck at one point. And it's beautiful, it's joyful, it's jubilant, it's a goddamn good time. It's a great comic book movie, and I mean that in the literal sense. We're going to talk about it. Mostly in glowingly terms, I would wager. But before we do that, what's going on, my friend, stuck in a phantom zone, making elements and having a green baby?
So my question is, again, because this is the show and this is the brand, is the foreskin crystallized or they say half crystal, half grey? What's happening?
You're talking about Metamorpho's dick?
Yeah.
Okay. This is very on brand for us, so let's have a conversation about it. I might be half and half, like a when you buy the sand that's different colours, different, you buy. It's like Dr. Seuss's dick is what he would have, to be like different colours leading up to a tip.
Right, but I understand. I'm talking about the texture.
Yep. Oh, right, just dick texture. Mostly, just dick. Unless he wants it to be something else. But why would you want your dick to be any other texture than dick?
Have you blown a crystal before?
That's neither here nor there. I refuse to answer that. I plead the fifth on sucking off crystals. Poor Metamorpho, he's just getting it immediately. No, I can't believe I referred to something as dick texture as well. That's just bizarre. I don't know the answer to the question. Is what do you think?
I think both Metamorpho and the Thing should make out. That's what I think.
That wasn't the question, but I like where your head's at. Fantastic.
No.
Two franchises coming together in a beautiful moment. It is the season of the witch. I mean, of superhero shits, which is pretty exciting. But yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool to kind of be here and be chatting about this because we've been talking about this since Gunn took over, since Corin Sweat was cast, and both me and Addy being like, Man of Steel's my shit, and I'm like, Christopher Reeve is my shit, and I just didn't feel like I was going to get it, but it totally works, doesn't it?
It is beautiful, just like you.
Yeah. Thank you. I mean, this is the best looking podcast on the web, ladies and gentlemen. No offense to my other podcasting partners, but this is Babelicious. Shall we do a couple of segments before we get into the super chat?
We should. Also, we have some ton of fucking nerd news today.
Christ almighty. We'll have to pick a couple of good ones, I reckon, and move forward, because that's fucking insane. It's like, Superman starts doing good, and all of a sudden, Kevin Feige opens his mouth like a fucking trapdoor.
Also, I don't think it's a trapdoor. I think he just took off his hat.
Yeah, then all of it, and underneath it was 17 years of steam, just woo, because he's been fuming over. Blade.
I want to preface and say, oh my god, I can't believe we started the Superman podcast with Metamorpho's dick. But also,
I mean, ladies and gentlemen, and people of all sorts, would you expect anything less? I think we've branded ourselves as. I was quite raw on someone else's show last night, and it was obvious. We got through the whole thing, and then I started talking about one of them having a wank, and
oh my
they were
God.
like, just as we were about to get to the end, you pull this shit. I'm like, whatever, I've got fans to entertain. Anyway, have you been watching any cool shit?
I have, actually.
Awesome. We're going to do What Are We
Watching?
what are we watching? What have you been watching? What was the thing you were talking about?
No, you go first.
Why do you do that all the time? I don't. We're not a video show. And he's wearing a Superman t-shirt. Classic 90s S as well.
Yeah.
On the white t-shirt, fucking making me want to fucking save a squirrel. Anyway, what did I watch? I started rewatching Sugar because that shit rules. Colin Farrell, the fantastic noir show on Apple, just because I love it so much. But also because Corin Sweat's been interviewed by everybody on planet Earth except for me in the last few weeks, because they're pushing this movie like you wouldn't believe it. I don't know who he was being interviewed by, but he was sitting there in rather unusual clothing, and he was talking about hot takes about Star Wars.
Oh yeah, I love that show.
And is it called Hot Takes or something? Is it?
It is called Hot Takes.
You should call it Hot Cakes, and then you just talk about stuff while you're having pancakes. Where was I? Yes. Anyway, he was talking about Star Wars, and the hot take is the order you should watch him in. He says you should watch 4 and 5. And then 1, 2, 3, and then 6, and because then the reveal of Darth Vader becoming good is withheld until you get through basically what is a flashback, 3-film flashback, which is a really cool way to do it. But it prompted me to watch Empire and Jedi, which I haven't done in decades. I'm not kidding. I think I watched Star Wars last year sometime. I'm not even sure why, but. Yeah, I haven't watched it. And fuck, they're good. They're really good. They hold up so well. There's so much stuff I picked up that I hadn't before because I haven't watched them like with this adult version of my head. Yeah, I really love it. It's such a good series. And there really is poignancy, and I really felt Vader's turn at the end where he dies, where he says, "I've got to save you," and he's like, "You already have." Like that's some real shit going on there. That's some proper storytelling. So yeah, it was nice to revisit those.
Oh man, I'm sorry, I couldn't care less about those movies.
Oh, that's fine. No, it's not your Star Wars, and that's totally cool. It was like the Superman thing. You can like Snyder and Gunn equally, or appreciate them both. It doesn't mean you have to pick a side. So, but what have you been watching? Not Star Wars.
I finished watching Free Run Beyond Journey's End, which is the anime I talked about, I guess, 3 or 4 episodes ago. It's a 28 episode show, so it only has like 1 season. It doesn't end, which is classic for...
What do you mean it doesn't end? I don't understand that.
Well, the story doesn't end with season 1, but like we don't know if the show is coming back or not, which is classic for incredible animes that only ever get 1 season.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, like the last arc or so, like episode 27, 28 are pretty good, but something fell off from the writing of episode 20 to 25, 26. It was a lot of like closed off singular story, and I just didn't like any of the characters, and I was like, oh fuck man, I have to sit through all this. And it was such peak, like every episode was like incredible, and then it went down, like because I was like logging it on Serialized, which is like Letterboxd but for TV shows, where you can like rate every episode and so.
Yeah, well, if only I had that kind of fucking time.
I'm so glad nobody I know is actually on Letterboxd, because they would be like, how the fuck do you watch all that?
Yeah.
Because I don't do anything else.
There is a weird judgment thing going on with that. Yeah, I remember when during COVID I was like logging what I was watching on social media, being like, hey, movie number 300 or whatever. And people were like, how do you have time to watch all the movies? I'm like, I don't fucking sleep is why. I have insomnia up my ass. It's up there. It's up it. Anyway, so have you decided that you don't like this show now, or what's going on?
Oh no, the show is incredible. The last arc is a little hard to get through, but it has like a lot of interesting characters and a lot of interesting concepts, and like a ton of like innovative magic users. Sorry. So yeah, that was It was great. I hope it comes back in some capacity in the next 15 years or so. Because it's so great. And it's really lighthearted. But it's like, when it's supposed to have impactful and important moments, it can drop the funny lightheartedness and just be an incredible story about grief and letting go. And yet, you're back with another dick joke. I rewatched X-Men Days of Future Past.
Oh, yes.
And fuck, man, it's so good. With Superman now in the picture, it changes a lot what that list looks like. That's probably like my favorite superhero movie of all time, barring Logan, because I don't think we can call Logan a superhero movie. Like that's
no, only in as much as that it's based on, a comic book, or it has comic book origins, but it's not. It's a Western.
I don't know if like irony is the right word, but Logan being the one going back and helping Charles, and having that baggage of Charles being the one to help him, and the way that the older Charles and younger Charles meet, and the intercutting of Magneto working against the X-Men and Magneto working with the X-Men. Like, it's divisive with the Rogue cut and not, but I think like without it or with it, it still has the same impact. Like, it's great to see Rogue again, because she was like the first X-Men character we see. Like, she is our catalyst into this world in the first X-Men film, but it's so fucking good, man. And after that, I rewatched Sinners.
Fuck yes.
And fuck me, man. I think not doing an episode on it was I don't know what I was thinking, because I said no. But we might have to go.
Circle. Let's do it in October. Let's do it in Halloween.
Fuck it. Because Sinners is one of those films where I will never not think about it, ever. Because it's, like, well made doesn't even do it justice. And in its messaging, and it's, like, what it's really trying to say, it's so pure. And you feel the passion of it throughout. And
yeah, it's undeniable.
Yeah, and I've been listening to, like, the soundtrack of it this past week. And fuck, man, it's good cinema. Incredible cinema.
Excellent. Was there anything else you watched?
Yeah, Superman.
Yes. Well, we're going to get into that one. But before we do that, there's a flurry of activity going on in the news sphere. So we're going to do some nerd news. Nerd news. Two things really quickly before we get into all that Kevin Feige stuff. Sydney Sweeney is the top name on the casting list to be the next Bond. All right, and the quote that went along with this article, whatever, the quote that went along with this post says, Denis Villeneuve, you know his real name, believes she is hugely talented. Don't use the word hugely for starters. As well as having an alluring appeal to younger generations. And alluring appeal should be in quotation marks because we know we mean them titties. Okay? Vital in modernising the franchise, right? Now, this is the one that really killed me. They've hung out together a lot, and he has admired her stratospheric rise. He admired some shit, all right? Fuck.
Who the fuck is writing these, man?
I have no idea. I bet Danny's looking at that going, you make me sound like I want to fuck her, but I want to fuck sand. Sorry.
Oh my god. That's Star Wars, dude. That's different.
Sand fuckers. Yeah, that's a better movie. I think she's a perfect Bond girl, actually. She's absolutely perfect. I'm just making a joke about the poorly worded quotes that they've used in that article. Like, hugely talented? Don't do that. We all know what we're talking about. Like, come on. Anyway, sorry.
She's not British, it won't happen.
There's been American Bond girls before. Halle Berry was
Wait, I thought the headline was her playing Bond.
No. It's her playing the Bond girl. You know, there's always a Bond.
Oh.
And just to, be sort of Superman adjacent, James Gunn confirms that Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow has been retitled to just Supergirl, which makes a lot more sense. That will be interesting because I read last night that it's a prequel. It is the like it takes place before she gets to Earth, so it might be the adventures she had before she arrived here. Yeah, that was my understanding.
Wait, have you read Women of Tomorrow? No, I read it. It's fucking wonderful. At one point, she rides a fucking horse into space.
Ah, the old space horse.
I heard space whores and I was like, what the fuck?
Space whores. Yeah, they have them too.
Yes, that's what Jabba is for.
Absolutely. He loves space whores, Jabba.
I want to touch him so bad.
Jabba the Hutt or Jabba the Hutt or space whores. Space Horse is going to take on. We've said it so many times. We might enact a curse if we keep saying it over and over. We might open a portal and they'll all come through. Cool. All right, let's quickly go through this Kevin Feige stuff. He has admitted that the quality dropped. After Endgame, he said well over 100 hours of stories in half the time. It was just too much. Agreed.
Agreed for some
now
of
this
it.
is one. What? Sorry.
Agreed for some of it.
I mean, regardless of the quality, he's right. There was too much. Some stuff was great, but there was still too much. This is the one that I wanted to ask you about because you mentioned it. Feige says that Avengers: Secret Wars is a planned reset to reset singular timelines and reboot the MCU. The current MCU plan is 7 years long. I think it goes till 2032. He said this makes it sound like they're trimming some hedges. You know what I mean? Is that what you said about Ms. Marvel?
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Sucking too many metamorpho dicks.
Is the crystals getting caught up?
Crystal cock. Okay. Temple of the Crystal Cock.
Oh boy.
Very different movie. Sorry.
That's where Indiana Jones has an intercourse with an unpeeled Mr. Ernest Banana.
Oh, the old Ernest Banana. He comes back again. I also like he said he had an intercourse. Like, one of them. Like,
isn't that how you say it?
Intercourse is a verb. It's not. No, you have intercourse because it's a verb. You don't have a intercourse. You know, you can only do that if you say fuck. Like have a fuck. But even that sounds weird. Can we fucking keep on the track one time? My goodness. So yeah, trimming the branches. Basically, you know, he's trying to make this bonsai tree. It's gone a bit crazy. And you were saying the singular timelines means what? Sorry, it's Ms. Marvel was one that you said, and what was the other one?
Echo. So basically, what he means is like all the Disney Plus shows, like most of them with like original characters, introducing original characters, basically. And
yet they're like Moon Knight.
So I don't know.
Yeah. I don't think he knows either. It's just the amount of news that came out. I mean, was he tied to a fucking chair when they gave him all this information? You know what I mean? Like, this is the kind of stuff that he would give people fucking red cards for if they did it themselves, you know?
Yeah, well, like I said, I think there's been like a shake-up and like they might have just fucking threatened him, honestly.
It'd be funny if they're like, fired, and he's like, I'm going to spill so much tea on my way out, don't even worry about it.
Oh my god. If he gets fired, he'll be like the richest unemployed person alive.
He would be. He would never have to work. I mean, he doesn't anyway, but he would never have to work another day in his life. You know, he would live off the interest of all the fucking... He's got a Scrooge McDuck style money pit in the back of his house, but instead of coins, it's filled with $100 bills and used connies. I don't know why. Yep.
What's that? What the fuck did you just say?
It's a connie is a colloquialism in Australia for condom.
Oh shit! I forgot. You told me that.
Oh, I got a connie. Like, yeah, we're simple people here. We're all descended from thieves and pirates, which is actually quite cool. Another thing that's stuck in my craw. Kevin Feige says they're not allowed to bring Miles Morales into the MCU yet. We've been told to stay away. By fucking whom?
Well, Sony, because they own Spider-Man.
Yeah, I know, but you don't tell Marvel to do shit.
When you're Sony, you can, because Spider-Man is one of the most recognizable superheroes ever. And Sony owns Spider-Man 100%. They lend Spider-Man, like Tom Holland's Spider-Man, to to Marvel to make the movies.
Yeah.
So like a normal Spider-Man movie needs to make $1 billion just to break even.
There's a lot of talk about that one going on at the moment. That's sort of a street level adventure, and it won't be about the end of the world. Punisher's in it. I can't imagine what that movie is actually going to be. It sounds like it's going to be bloated, to say the least. Another thing I can't believe is this fucking Blade talk. Like, Kevin Feige says there's been 4 versions of Blade. Pick one!
Oh my god. That
Jesus
was
Christ.
Genuine frustration.
It was. Like, make a fucking Blade picture. They've finally decided to take it modern day. All right, terrific. We didn't want to just put a leather outfit on him and have him start killing vampires. That's kind of the whole fucking thing. It would have been perfectly fine if he did that. That's what they did in 1998, and it rules. So don't worry about it. And like, they can't seriously still be considering Mahershala Ali. Like, he'd be close to 50 now. You know, you might as well get Wesley Snipes back in there with his fucking.
I'm trying to skate uphill.
That is such a strange line. It's only David Goyer would write that line. It's such a I think this is cool line, you know, but it's not, David. It sounds fucking dumb. You should have made a reference to Sisyphus, which is the better, you know, metaphor for what he's talking about, you know. What's funny? Not syphilis. Don't laugh at maybe syphilis. I meant Sisyphus, he was charged with perpetually pushing a boulder up a hill. When something is really difficult, it's described as Sisyphusian. Not syphilis, where your fucking dick falls off or whatever happens. Get crotch rot. That doesn't happen to Metamorpho, though, because he's protected. Because his dick is a crystal. Kevin Feige says that Jake Schreier... How do you say his name? Schreier? Jake Schreier, who directed Thunderbolts, probably one of the best outings that Marvel has had post-Endgame, honestly. Check out our episode on it. Is officially signed on to direct X-Men. It's all starting now. The script is underway, was his comment. Pretty cool. Having just rewatched, you know, probably the best X-Men film apart from X2, how do you feel about that?
I know, I'm super excited for him and what he does with the X-Men. One of like the articles, like one that I didn't send you, Feige did say that they're aiming for like a youthful X-Men, so like X-Men Evolution. That
makes perfect sense, you know, because that show is really good. Actually, it's a really good cartoon. It's, you know, modern for its time. It's not modern by today's standards, but it's modern. It was basically like Ultimate X-Men when they relaunched. When Marvel relaunched all their sort of, you know, banner titles and the Ultimate thing. It's a fucking great idea. Like, make all these characters teenagers. Like, when everybody in the first X-Men movie was playing X-Men, they were all like 38 years old and shit. Like, you know, let's have this be what it is. This is a school and they're all teenagers. It makes so much story sense as well. Because we haven't seen that yet.
Well, except for like Storm and Logan and Professor X and Magneto.
Oh, you mean except for them not to be teenagers? Well, I reckon it's all right. It's, as long as Magneto and Professor X are in their late 20s and the kids are all, you know, 14, 15, 16. I think that's really good. It's Children of the Atom. It could be really awesome.
That I hope that the reset is classic Marvel or reset to 60s.
Yeah, that's such a fucking good idea. Like, just have it all go back. It would look really dope to do that. And talk about shifting gears. It would be... I think it would take people so by surprise they couldn't help but be interested, you know?
Yeah, and also it would absolutely crush the criticism that Marvel's been facing for about 5 to 10 years now, that almost all of their films look the same. This would give them the opportunity to make so many new and innovative decisions just for the look. Man, could you imagine like them actually doing it and then like having the 60s set up with our modern characters, but also having the 60s costumes, like the 60s, 70s costumes? Like before they were afraid that it would be too like flashy and shit, where there were bright blues and bright yellows and Cyclops' visor was like fucking heat vision, but you could feel it.
Yeah, it's and I think testing the aesthetic is first steps, which doesn't look like any Marvel movie I've seen in a really long time. That house style thing is kind of gone, out the window a little bit in that case. Even Thunderbolts looked very, very particular. I think maybe they're figuring that out.
I wish nothing but the best for Marvel. Like, it would be incredible to have DC and Marvel go in so many interesting and different routes at the same time. It'd be great because I'm a fucking nerd and I love it.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be one versus the other. Like, a rising tide serves all ships, you know what I mean? It doesn't, just because if this stuff takes a sharp turn because people have fatigue and they want to try some new stuff, it's only going to be good for everybody. You know, it doesn't matter whether you like Marvel or DC. You can not like one of them, that's totally fine, but you don't need to. It doesn't need to be better than your thing or worse than your thing. It's just, that's a silly sort of, I mean, societally, we're kind of pitted against each other all the time anyway, just in terms of the way we're marketed to and all that stuff. So I guess that people kind of feel that thing. Everybody's got to have a favorite, or you've got to be in competition with people, but you don't. That's completely ridiculous. In the reality of the way that we deal with each other, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But do you know what? Yep, it's the Superman, and it's fabulous. I'm really excited to talk about it because, as I said before, we weren't negative. Well, you were, but you were like, "Fuck him and fuck them, fuck all that shit."
For one episode, because I was grieving.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, fair warning, everybody. It was a touchy time because Cavill got announced, and then they were like, "No, absolutely not," and then he got unannounced. But I wasn't sure that this would work. James Gunn and the whole DC reboot. I'm like, why can't we just have a break from it? Blah blah blah. All that shit. We're back. This is what it means to have, like I said last week, to have ideas instead of beliefs, because beliefs get hardwired and you stitch them into your personality and your the way that you feel about the world, and they're immovable. But an idea can change based on new information. And the new information I got was this movie. And I was like, absolutely. And I'll just say, before we get into the actual bulk of it, one of the things that I'm most excited about seems to be that this film isn't going to dictate a style or an aesthetic for the ongoing universe. Like, this is this picture. And although other films will be connected to it in the long run, Gunn has said that directors and writers and artists and technicians and actors and everybody who makes each individual film will make it its own thing. So Clayface will be a horror picture. Lanterns will be a cop show. Superman's big, bright comic book adventure. Supergirl seems like it's going to be like a teen space opera. They all look different. They all feel different. And yet they have a connectivity, in the same way that a comic book universe does. There's no house style. Like, you pick up a Lobo comic, and you pick up a Superman comic, and you pick up a Swamp Thing comic. They all look different. They all sound different because they're different writers. Even though they are connected in the same universe, they're telling different types of stories. Not all comics are exactly the same, even in their own line. Batman and Superman have multiple books running at all times. Robin, Supergirl, like all the connected ones. And they're all different. They don't share a visual language, despite the fact that they're running in tandem, even though they also may share events. Doing that with your comic book universe, cinematically, opens so many more doors, because you can now do this type of picture and this type of picture. And then when you do bring them all together to do a Justice League or a Kingdom Come or whatever the fuck that you end up deciding to do, it does, like, whoever directs that will have their style, and it'll, you'll take bits and pieces that work and all that shit. So I feel like the idea of it being a creative like melting pot of all these different ideas, and because Gunn's a writer, he's like, we're not going to greenlight anything until the script is done and good, really importantly, and they're not going to produce anything. No shit leaves the shop. We say that at work all the time, me and Dan. We're like, nothing bad leaves this studio, because you just, it's not about quantity, even though that's the mindset that most people have in this day and age. It's about content. No, take fucking however long you need to make each thing. Like, if you have a deadline and no script, how good is the script going to be? So, like, I understand that you need to get stuff out, but still, the point is, I have a lot of faith in this team to be like, let's bring all these amazing people in, like fucking James Mangold to come in and do Swamp Thing, and let's get fucking Mike Flanagan to do his Clayface thing, and it's going to be based on the version from the Batman animated series, like that version of the character. And it's like there's so many places that you can now go without those shackles of, no, it needs to look something so that people know it's the same shit. Of course they fucking know it's the same shit. Anyway, how do you feel about it, Addy?
Thank you for that. That was beautiful.
You're very welcome.
I guess what we'll do here is we'll talk a little bit about non-spoiler stuff, and then we get into all of it.
Batman's in it. Batman's in it. He's fucking in it. Sucks off Superman and Metamorpho. Double, 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 double. Sorry. No spoilers. No spoilers. You know what got it? In my head, I can't stop hearing double, 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 double now. Okay, wait. Tell me. Tell me what you think about stuff.
To the people listening, he's gone full red.
I've because I'm laughing so hard at how fucking ridiculous this is. Okay. Tell me about your feelings about Superman.
I shall.
Double, 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 double. Oh, two crystal dicks. Okay, wait.
Well, what the fuck?
I don't know. I'm trying to get past it. Hang on. I can't not hear myself or see myself doing it. Silly. Okay. Yeah, just tell me your feelings about, because like you said, you were skeptical to say the least.
Our journey, as like the podcast journey with this film, starts with the Superman Paradox episode that we did, where Henry Cavill gets fired. And we've been talking constantly about it ever since.
Yeah.
And to say that I was skeptical and to say that I was scared of all things was, I think there was one point where I told you that I think I'll be okay. Like I don't think I'll love it, but I think I'm willing to give it a chance. And that took a lot of courage because like Henry Cavill is my Superman, and it's a real shame, but it is the truth that we didn't really get to see him be Superman, and that still hurts. However, I can never, and like this is something that I've come to terms now with. I will never not be excited for a Superman project because I've now learned that it's not who plays him, it's what it's about. It's not who plays Superman, but it's what Superman's about, and I think that's important in ways that people don't really understand. This film was flawed in a lot of ways, but none of that bothered me because I saw Superman fly for the first time in a decade.
And it looks really good. Like it looks, this is probably, I said it last night to Gus from the Sequel Suck podcast, we were talking about it. I think this is the best CG's ever been. And he was like, are you fucking high? What about that Minecraft bit in the middle? I'm like, no. I'm talking about, I don't know when Corin Sweat stops being digital and starts being a dude on a gimbal. So much so that today, like when we were looking at that, I sent you that clip of him in a volume, like going through an actual landscape that's probably been constructed in CG, but maybe some of it was shot, I don't know. And he's doing barrel rolls and shit. So half of it's that and half of it's that. And I couldn't see the seams, Addy. Like, and that is a lot to me because I fucking know where they are. Like I could point them out to you. And I'm like, when he does this huge, amazing big, move and takes all these guys out and then flies up directly into camera, the big S comes up and then he flies off again and, coming out of the rubble, holding that building up and then this silhouette of him in the rubble and just I just couldn't. It was crisp. It was really crisp looking, all the CG. And that higher frame rate and those longer lenses that Gunn uses worked for the kinetic kind of activity that's going on in this shit, Sorry, I stole your point.
No, I love it. It's
you saw
also,
him fly for the first time.
Yeah, it's also because he isn't CG in the flying scenes at all. He, they went in and they shot close-ups and medium close-ups because they wanted even, the furthest away you can see Superman, it will still be his footage that they use. So they took a drone and they flew around in Antarctica with the drone, and then they shot him as Superman flying with like the gimbal and the volume.
It makes such a huge difference, the practical nature of trying to do it. And I understand that this, the film's, there's a fucking giant dragon creature in it and all this shit, but and I've seen all the pictures. It's a dude with a camera that's no bigger than fucking my little camera that I've got, with a monitor on it and a really sweet lens, and that's it. They're just in the action. And I didn't think that would work for Supes. Even Snyder has a more like romantic, relaxed style than this. Like, this is, you know what it is? It's everything that a 90s comic is. It's colorful, it's poppy. Like I said before, it's kinetic. It's every time you turn the page, fuck, there's something else is happening. There's a splash page. Like, it really feels like those 1990s comics, around the era of the death of Superman. It was like Dan Jurgens and who was the other cat? I can't remember his name. It was even John Byrne, like his 80s stuff and all that. It's really, it's probably it's probably the most comic book movie to ever comic book ever. Like, I didn't think I would dig Gunn's style and the material, but it totally works. The action is ripped right out of the books, which Gunn is obviously a huge fan of, and he's probably the biggest comic book fan to ever tackle the material in live action, apart from GDT, and he did Hellboy and stuff, and he just understands it so well. That the flying scenes are stunning. The fights and the action is expertly done. I couldn't tell where that CG ends and begins, obviously, and also the geography of everything. It's really clean and really clear. You can see, okay, Superman's here, and what he's fighting is here, and when they smash together, there's a nice wide shot, and you get the geography of, that person's hit that wall now, and that person's going that way, and it was just, the story's a fucking mess, but the actual way it's captured is not.
The thing that stands out the most overall is the performances and the care put into it. Corn Sweat is incredible as Kal-El, as Superman, and he's incredible in the sense that his Superman gives off the energy that he genuinely fucking cares, and I think that's very important. And like I said, I sent a message to you the other day, and I was like, that's the thing with Superman. Like, the people who think that Superman is overpowered look past him like he's another. Superman fucking cares, man. Like, he saves a squirrel in the middle of a kaiju fight.
I fucking cheered when that happened. No one life is more important than another. I fucking love that.
I absolutely love that the Fortress of Solitude is a thing, and it's stupid fucking crystals, but it works. I love that. He's
got robot powers and everything, and it doesn't matter. Like, all right, cool. We're getting into it. Superman has the metahumans have been around for this long, and Superman's the strongest of them, and he's just had his fucking ass kicked. And you come in at the end of a fight.
Yeah.
And he's had the fuck. It's in the trailer, and then Krypto turns up and takes him back to the Fortress of Solitude, and he gets healed and whatever. But he gets his fucking ass kicked. He's not completely infallible, He's very fallible, in fact. I don't know if that's the right word. He can be hurt, and he's not super invincible, and it has nothing to do with kryptonite. He's a super strong guy with lots and lots of powers, and that's great and everything. But it doesn't mean someone as strong can't whoop his ass. It does, I feel that there's more stakes here than there normally would be in a Superman movie because he's so.
It's also because for like the past decade or so, we've started with Superman being invincible. Man of Steel, he's invincible. Like, the guy goes to push him and then he just pushes a wall. I don't think Corn Sweat is that, and I think that goes to show like how young the Superman is. Like, it's like he's been around for, I guess, like 5 years or so, to a point where like the public knows that he's an alien. And I love that I genuinely fucking love that it's not, he's invincible and like people rip through anything. Like, he gets hurt and he gets back up, and sometimes it's hard for him to get back up, and he calls his dog.
Yeah, it is. There's a beautiful, dog owner, or not owner really, but dog friend relationship going on there, and it elevates the thing. He is particularly good. He's just an absolute charm factory. He's got it's his eyes. He has the strength, he has the vulnerability, he has the weakness, he has the petulance as well of a man who can do anything and yet has to make fucking excuses for why he has to do it. People were going to die. Why do you not understand this? That's such a powerful scene where he's like, you're supposed to get this, Lusha. She's like, I'm a fucking investigative journalist, you dickhead. Like, of course I'm going to question you. You can't just walk into another country and start fucking with their shit. Like, that's not how universal politics work. Even though he's right, it might not be the right thing to do, and he can't understand that because he's like, if you have the power to save someone, you have to do that, and he's never going to not be that. And we'll talk about that a bit more when we get into spoilers. But the other thing that I really liked about this is that it is in no way subtle.
Not at all,
it is
baby.
Big and it's bright and it's in your face, and people just, not only is it like super overwritten like the way that those 90s comic books are, everybody just talks about what the movie's about all the time. You know what I mean? Like Lex Luthor going, he's not a man, he's an it. Ever since he came here, it's been fucking shit. And you know what I mean? Like, it's like, we get why you're doing this, mate. That thing, or the guy who plays Otis, funnily enough, is like a little tip of the hat to the original, and Miss Tessmacher as well is fantastic. Otis is like, he spent years studying Superman, so he knows every counter attack he could do. I'm like, yeah, but we got that. But you know why they're doing that? Because that's what a fucking comic book would do. That's what a kid would do. They'd go, oh, cool, like they're just, the over explanation of it is. But yeah, it's not subtle.
Well, I also mean it's not subtle in its messaging and its parallels to the real world. Which a lot of people had problems with, and if you had a problem with it, find a different show.
Can I just ask though, what the fuck is the woke thing? I don't get it. They don't lean into the immigrant stuff even at all, really. Like, okay, so you had the reveal about his parents.
Yeah, okay, we can talk about, like, we can't talk about the reveal yet because I still want to talk a bit about like the non-spoiler stuff. But yeah, that's definitely.
But
something.
I'm just saying, like, the reveal of his parents and you do see them, like, that's not a huge giveaway, but what that means, but it's not really, like, the immigration stuff is more to do with the war that he tries to stop, like, that's, well, I don't know, I mean, it was written well before the conflict started, but it's Palestine and Israel, like, it just, well, I mean, not over the course of history, but the more recent conflicts I'm talking about, I don't understand. I think it's just people fucking needing something to.
People will say shit because they need something to hate. Because if they stopped for a second and thought about the things they didn't hate about, their whole concept of reality would explode. And they can't have that.
They might have to be happy. And then what would they do with themselves? They wouldn't have anything to say. They just sit there in blissful silence like the fucking rest of us.
It's like, it's
I'm agitated today. I'm just like,
no, man, I love it.
Shit. I'm sick of people's shit. Just fucking handle your high, motherfuckers. Like, this life is beautiful and it's short. It is terribly short. In the grand scheme of things, in the time that existence will exist, from the beginning of it until the end of it, with infinite on both ends, you're in the fucking middle, and you get this tiny, tiny little bit of time on this miraculous place, and all you do is complain about it all the time. Like, grow the fuck up. Sorry. Superman's awesome. Grow up's such a slam to say to an adult, because we all hate that. Like, someone told me to grow up and be like, no, I'm perfectly happy being as juvenile as I am, thank you very much. But he say that to a normal person. It's like saying calm down.
Oh my God.
You tell a person who's agitated to calm down, they're like, you fucking what? It never works. Can I just say, though, during the fight scene with the monster, the kaiju fight, in which the Justice Gang, fantastic, turn up and Superman gets upset that they kill it, which really... It appealed to me a lot, that side of him. Like, I know he probably eats Superman meat. He was making eggs and bacon when we first saw him, at home, breakfast for dinner. But just from my animal-loving heart. Just the kindness shown to animals in this film meant a lot. But I thought to myself, because of that kinetic action, like I said, and the really wide lens use and those long takes and the score, it's a heavy version of the score. I'm like, this is punk rock Superman. And only minutes later, the character actually says that, and it's now become meme after meme. But Superman thinking that everything is beautiful is the new punk rock. That's absolutely right. Caring about others, regardless of race, sex, or creed, is the most gangster fucking shit you can do in this day and age. To love is an act of rebellion in a time when everywhere around you is hate. That's what Superman is. Love in the face of overwhelming evil.
I fucking love that. I fucking love that so much. Love is an act of rebellion. Fucking hell, man. Let's stop it right there.
It absolutely is. It absolutely is. You know?
All right, this is like, okay, I'm going to say my piece quickly, and then we'll get into spoilers. So yeah, action sequences are incredible. I think going into it, I was really scared that I wouldn't like it, and the opening scene happened. I was like, yep, that's it. Like the Superman title comes on screen, when it does, it makes you feel a certain way, and if you don't feel like that's for you in that opening sequence, it isn't for you at all.
I mean, cognitively, our brains do that within the first 2 seconds of receiving new information. It decides what it wants to do, and it just takes us a little bit of time to catch up sometimes. But that's typically what happens.
Fuck, man, you're so right.
It's a hyper consciousness that we don't really tap into. That you know, it's why when you see something like AI or whatever, it's so off putting, because your brain knows that it's not real.
I was scared a lot, and it shifted so quickly that, and I was so happy that it did, because throughout the film I was happy and I was enjoying it. And I can't remember the last time I felt so much joy watching something. And I watched it again with my friend today, a few hours before we started recording. And he's like an MCU fan. Never touched a comic book. Not that that's like a criticism or anything. We walked out and he said, "Fuck, man, that was so hopeful," and that gave me chills, because that's all it's about. That's all that Superman's about. It's about hope. I don't think that I've ever felt so hopeful about something's future and so confident about loving it. Like I said, it has its flaws, and one of it is that I can say that because it's not a spoiler. There's not enough Clark Kent as I wanted it to be, but that's a very minor nitpick. I really wanted to see the double life of Superman, but also the story takes place within 3 days.
Yeah, it's a really tight, it's one crazy night kind of situation. Yeah, so it's hard to kind of get all things. But I think it still served him well. It still showed him at the beginning, and he's got a weird posture and a twitchiness. Corn Sweat. I kept calling him Corn Sweat. I have been for years, and then last night I'm on the other show and they kept calling him Corn Sweat. I'm like, have I been saying it wrong this whole time? Why didn't somebody correct me?
Well, I think it's because both of us said Corn Sweat so much.
Yeah.
Because it was easier to hate him. Because
I never hated him. I was skeptical at best.
Hey man, I was skeptical too. I never said that I would hate him. I said that I wouldn't like it because it would remind me of Cavill, and it didn't.
If anything, he was more like Reeves. But anyway, I don't know what we were talking about.
Yeah. So yeah.
Hope.
Yes, hope. It's about hope. And listen, this is a new film. It doesn't require any sort of homework. It's probably the only DCU film that will never require homework. Nicholas Hoult is great. Richard Brosnahan is great. Go watch it. Watch it as many times as you want. Get some hope and get some joy in your life. You'll have so much fun.
That's the thing. It's fun. When I was at the cinema, I was filled with fucking kids, which is fair enough. It's a kids movie. It was school holidays. I shouldn't complain. But everything fell away, and I was just in it. I didn't think about the time. I didn't wonder when it was going to be over. I was just there, and it just washed over me. And it has been a while since a new movie at the cinema did that to me. Old movies do it all the time, seeing things as retros or whatever. But this was yeah. was special in that regard. And you're right, it's not perfect, but we're not going to talk about the imperfect parts because that's not what we do, you know. Sure, Clark doesn't turn up much, but whatever. There's plenty of Superman instead. Fuck it. Krypto for life, man. Yeah, we're going to spoil this from here on, but Krypto for life, man. What a good boy. I know he's a bad dog, but, you know, he's your dog. Like, you know what I mean? You love your dog. And Cable from Sequel Suck made a great... Sorry, I'm just talking about because I talked to him last night, but he made a great point saying that there'll be like an arc for him over the course of the movies, and eventually he will be a good boy. And I fucking love that idea. I think that's really, really cool. Like, why not? Why not give Krypto an arc? That's beautiful. It's and not to ruin it. Yeah, there is no real stinger, which is great. I'm pleased that that's the case. You do get introduced to a particular character, but for me, the best is that final shot after the main credits has happened, and it's a guy sitting on the moon hugging his dog. Like, it's just, and I totally understand him going after Krypto when Luthor takes him. I'd kick in the door of a billionaire for any of my boys and fucking tear him in half like a phone book. Like, fuck you, Luthor. He wouldn't even get a few words out. He'd be like, "Where's the dog?" Snap. Anyway, so spoilers. Do you want to talk about the big sort of cast reveal last? I mean, everybody fucking knows about it now, though, because
yeah, fucking hell,
cock smokers.
Yeah. Okay, so spoilers from now on. I'll put like a
spoiler now.
Yeah.
We're talking about now. The spoilers from now. Now. We're going now. It's now.
You okay, man?
Why? No, I'm not. Why do you even put up with this stupid shit? Why does anybody on the internet?
Oh, it's really simple. You want to know the answer to that?
Yeah.
But you gotta promise me that you'll not like go back on it, because we love you very much.
Oh,
that's why.
That's beautiful. The internet loves me. That's great. I don't care. You're plenty as long as I'm entertaining you. So spoiler time. Oh yeah. Wait, before that, fucking you were talking about fight scenes. The fight scene and the needle drop with Mr. Terrific taking out all those motherfuckers, but it's from Lois's perspective in the dome. Absolutely outstanding. Loved Mr. Terrific. Hawkgirl's great with the scream, and she's like, you know, I'm not Superman, and just drops that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, that's shit. That's the Hawkgirl from the Justice League cartoon, who is absolutely doesn't play. You know, she's all business. And fucking Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner. Now, he's been my Hal Jordan for a long time. I've had him in my head when I read Green Lantern books that have Hal in it, because he was the voice for years. He was the voice. And to see him as Guy Gardner and to really go through with it, the hair, the campiness, the attitude, the fuck you kind of attitude thing, where she walks out and says, that hair should be against your beliefs or whatever. And he's like, what should be what? Like, it's so Fillion. And he killed it. Like, when he was up against Corn Sweat and they're standing face to face, and he's like, I'm a fucking Green Lantern.
Yeah.
You're just a dude in a stupid cape. Like, I'm, you know what I mean? Like, he's so full of himself, Guy. It's such a great character that they never changed him. Like, he's just always been that. He's always been this. He's the high school jock, you know? Yeah. He's a high school jock. Total asshole. Anyway, so I really enjoy that aspect of it, the Justice Gang. And you're like, I see what you're doing with the fucking Hall of Justice and all that stuff.
Yeah. Also, the Hawkgirl. That's the Hawkgirl I fell in love with, man. That show is one of the most important shows in all of... Like, if you love superheroes, that's the one that you gotta watch. Because not only do you get Kevin Conroy as Batman with Superman in it. Am I right? That's Kevin Conroy, right?
It's Conroy, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because
he did it all the way through. Like, even after Batman, the animated series, had finished and they were doing Justice League Unlimited, he did it all the way through that. They only changed when they started making the
DCMU?
the other shows. Like, well, yeah, but also the other shows. They did, like, Beware the Batman and The Batman, which is actually pretty cool. But yeah. Anyway, sorry, keep going. I'm
so happy she's in it. I'm so happy they didn't change her attitude. I'm so looking forward. I hope in my heart of hearts there's a sex scene coming in DCU and it'll wreck the world. Man, it's Hot Girl and the
The what?
It's Hot Girl and the best Green Lantern there ever was. And they fall in love.
Well, I mean, it'd be cool with her and Jon Stewart.
Wasn't Jon Stewart like her lover in the show?
Yeah, no, I'm saying if they were to do that in the actual TV show, the Lantern show they're doing.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Which is also an adult show. It's like Peacemaker. There's like fucking swears and stuff in it, which is pretty cool.
Fucking Peacemaker was in this, and it caught me off so hard.
Yeah. It's funny. They're just kind of being like, yep, that still works. We'll keep it. You know, like I kind of like the ballsiness of that. Like Gunn doesn't give a fucking shit whether or not you like this movie. He really likes it. He thinks it's excellent. Now, I don't know if that's ego or supreme confidence. Because listen, let's think about this for a second. All right, before we get into the spoilers, because there's only really two big ones. Think about Gunn, right? Coming from 90s exploitation films, right? So Trauma, which was, schlock horror stuff. Absolute shit, really. And then he becomes a screenwriter who was snuck weed jokes into Scooby-Doo to becoming Marvel's only director with a distinct vision, a distinct style, to being cancelled and then hired by the competition, uncancelled, and going on to make probably the most consistent trilogy in the MCU, to writing and directing one of the only DCU films, the DC Cinematic Universe, like the original, Zack Snyder verse, making one of the only ones of those that people can agree is good, to running the studio, to launching the new universe with Superman. That shit is punk rock. Like, he gets it, and he does not give a fuck if you don't. And I love that. That's chutzpah. People don't have chutzpah anymore. They're too ready to complain. He's like, fuck all y'all, this is going to be dope, it's going to look sick, I'm going to do this, and it's... he doesn't even give a shit that it's not doing that well at the box office. He's like, we'll make it back. Like, it's Superman.
It's been out for a week, and it's made over 400 million.
It's like 400 million, and it's in its third week. But, I mean, regardless, it's still... By the time they get to the end and then streaming and I'm getting this on the fucking 4K, mate. I'm going to get two so I can have sex with one of them, for God's sake. It's going to be amazing to make the hole a bit bigger.
Wait, okay. I was like, Are you talking about the disc or the cover? Because the cover,
both.
It's okay.
Both. I put the disc in my mouth and then... Stop it!
No, I want to hear that one.
I pulled the handbrake on that one. I just can't. Enough, Riggs, enough.
No, but I genuinely wanted to hear.
I put my dick in and I closed the case, all right? I close it. I close it around the dick, and then I put the CD in my mouth and I put on the John Williams score and ejaculate. What, sorry?
And then you scream in pain because you close the cover.
No, that's what I'm into. It's my thing. Some people like all sorts of stuff. One thing that I kind of snagged on is Bradley Cooper and the woman who Gus said looks like Lady Gaga play his parents, right? Play Lara Zor-El and Jor-El. Hyphenated name too. Krypton's a very progressive place. Not really, actually, but they say
not.
You'll be so powerful. Just go down there and rule those fucking shaved apes, because that's what's up. And then you find out that that gets released, and I thought it was a big Lex ploy. I thought he doctored all that because that's the the fake news kind of world that we live in, and there's a Trumpianness to him. But that they're like, no, that's the story we're telling. He was sent here to rule over them, and he decides not to do that. I don't know. It makes the relationship with Ma and Pa Kent, because they're really human, even more so than they've ever been. Last time we saw Ma and Pa Kent, it was Kevin fucking Costner and Diane Lane. You couldn't get a sexier set of parents if you tried, and you engineered them somehow. But these are just normal people. from Kansas, that just look like normal farmers. And they're old and frail, and they're the very human part of him that's human. When he goes home there and he's been trashed, and they look after him, and Jonathan's like, is he going to be okay? And he's like, he gets like that with Clark. Like, it's so beautiful that, you know, an adopted father whose son isn't even his species, it like elicits that kind of love, you know. And when he wakes up and Krypto's on him and his chin is like right there, oh, my whole heart. Anyway, yeah, to have the biological parents be like, yeah, you will be a god to them and you will rule them like that. How did you feel about it? Because, yeah, I kind of snagged on that one. And it took me days as well. I was like, what the fuck was Bradley Cooper doing in that? Oh, he was Rocket. And that was like 3 days later. Silly. But yeah, how did you feel about that?
I don't like that. And I have a theory that it's not actually, that's not, my theory is, and I hope that this is true, although Gunn has said that it isn't, but I don't think we can trust him on that because it might be, because what I'm about to say might actually be what they're trying to do. Especially with like the twist that happens later that I caught. I caught that in the fucking trailer, but I'll leave it. I don't think that's Jor-El. I think that's Zod.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
because he wouldn't know. Why would he know what his dad looks like? He absolutely wouldn't.
And the only person who would know is Kara, but I feel like he's the kind of Superman who's like, that message is too special and too personal to me. I'm not gonna show her.
It's for me, yeah.
It's for me. And if
Why would he show his cousin?
If he showed Kara, he'll be like, that's not your father. That's the guy who killed him. And that makes sense to me because, well, Zod is the military guy, and above all, he wanted to conquer worlds, and he is like the fucking leader of the army who will go to planets and fucking convert them and shit and kill them.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And it's psychological warfare to convince, the most powerful of your citizens now that they're on that earth. Or maybe he's stuck in the bottled city of Kandor or something and he can't get out and he needs... I don't know. The idea that that's Zod is fucking brilliant. I hope that's the case. And the other thing as well is it makes a lot more sense now knowing that his brother, Kara's dad, is played in the Supergirl movie, by Krumholtz. What's his name?
Oh, shit. I actually have the Supergirl cast pulled up. I can look it up.
Yeah, David Krumholtz.
Yeah.
Who was in last scene in Oppenheimer. It was like, there's absolutely no way that guy is that guy's brother. So if Bradley Cooper ended up being Zod, that's a fucking great Zod because he's not...
Well, he's manipulated him without even knowing that he's able to listen to that message.
Yeah, exactly. But maybe that was the whole thing, is like, we're just going to throw it out there and see if it works. But Michael Shannon is a good-looking dude, and so is Terrence Stamp, honestly, like, you know, and other people who've played the character as well. But Bradley Cooper is stunningly beautiful. Like, he is a very, very handsome man in a classical sense. Like, he looks like a fucking Steve McQueen. Imagine having all of that charisma, all of that charm, but he's evil.
Yeah.
That's a great Zod, man. That's a fucking... Oh, that's completely cracked my head open, dude. If that doesn't happen now, this sucks.
Because the alternative is that it does suck, because I don't like that version, because it feels very Invincible, and I hate Invincible. I'm sorry, I don't hate Invincible. It's just the fucking gore and shit, and it has a lot of, like... There's a lot that's... It's not even extreme, it's fucking gore porn, and it's also... It has a very problematic... I think the motherfucker gets raped and it's played for laughs.
What?
Yeah.
I'm glad I stopped watching.
Well, no, not in the show, not in the show, but in the comics. And that's like the theory that I've had. But also, I don't like it if it's not, because you tell a story of an immigrant, but you also make him a white supremacist. That's not. It's not what you want to do.
But he turns against it. At the end, he's like, I'm more human than you think I am. I get scared and, I get hurt and I love, yeah, I feel, like the idea that she kind of says it throwing it away. She's like, you think everything and everyone is beautiful. He's like, yeah, I do. That maybe that's a new punk rock. That's him saying the reason this is so hard for me is because I love everybody, not in spite of it. It's a beautiful message to there's some people out there who don't have value, clearly. People who are horrible and evil, and we know who they are. Some people are damaged and do bad things, and, they're not all bad. But pound for pound, there's more good people on planet Earth than there are bad people. I have to believe that. All you need to do is give them a chance a lot of the time. And for some people, that's all they need. Like, you can turn someone's day around with a simple act of kindness, or just practicing kindness with them. Listen to what they say and respond to what they say. Look them in the fucking eye when you talk to them. Not in a creepy way, but just make them know that you're there. And you'll see, exactly. You'll see a change in them. Change your body posture towards them. Like, don't be closed. Like, be open to people. And that's what Superman is. He's about being open to everybody. That's why the suit looks like that. He's Corin Sweat said it. He's like, I wanted the trunks the whole time. It was a last minute decision. And the reason I wanted it is because he needs to look approachable and kind of goofy and maybe a little bit theatrical, because then kids would be like, oh, he's colorful and everything, and not be afraid of the fact that this guy could snap mummy and daddy's neck. It makes perfect sense. You make yourself more approachable just by being open, in terms of your body language and stuff. So
I can make a case that Superman is about all of the good things that humankind has to offer, but he's also about acceptance, because his whole thing is that he will fight till he dies for a planet that will never truly accept him as his own, but he loves them. He loves them despite of that.
That's what true courage is doing something despite all the reasons that you probably shouldn't, like doing the right thing. It's what I said before. It's love in the face of overwhelming evil, to rise above, and we don't do that. We as people, we don't do that because it's terrifying, and a lot of people are cowardly. It's really hard to be brave. Bravery is. That's someone running into a building, or someone getting over a tragedy, moving on from a trauma, forgiving someone for hurting you is brave, and it's really hard to do that. If it wasn't, then we'd all be superheroes, but we're not. You just got to do the best you can. Sorry, we're talking about Superman. I'm getting all like metaphysical.
This is the best outlet to do it, man. It's Superman.
That's very true. Just before we get to the final spoiler, and this is kind of one as well, the character of Miss Tessmacher, I'm not sure who the actress is who plays her. She's really good. She's absolutely hysterical. And she's sort of, at first I thought it was by accident, but then after thinking about it, she's getting all that evidence. Like, she's taking selfies of herself, and in the background is evidence that Lex is up to some nefarious shit.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love it. And then she gives it to Jimmy Olsen, and they end up writing the article that brings Lex down, to make everybody go, oh, he's framed Superman and he's a bad guy or whatever. He's not a billionaire baby like we all thought. He's actually a piece of shit. And the Tessmacher is great. Like, I really enjoy that part. But the part that I really love about it is the fact that she's absolutely obsessed with Jimmy. And Jimmy is kind of a fucking poonhound. And he's a really good-looking kid. Like, don't get me wrong. I mean, nerds are in. Like, we're more popular than ever. You can take all the Chris Hemsworths you want. They're good to look at. But nerds are where it's at these days. And, for the ladies and for the men and for everybody in between, people love nerds. You talk to someone about D&D and, they're like, oh, my God, I think I want to do mouth stuff. But, yeah, the fact that he's, like, totally, like, the most sexualized character in the whole film is Jimmy Olsen, because he's been so avuncular in other places, or kind of like, oh gee, chief, and now he's like, nah, weekend. He's great. He's a player, but he's also really sweet. And the fact that she's like in his phone, she's called Mutant Toes, and then when she's talking, she says, you said it looked like my toes looked like someone dropped a prawn cocktail on the floor. I fucking burst out laughing. It's just, some people like that. Oh, mate, killed me. Love him.
I wanted to talk about the opening sequence, but I forgot in the non-spoiler section. But I love that the first time we see Superman on screen is him getting beaten down, and they like all of the belief that, oh, he's invincible and he's godly and he's like overly powerful is all thrown out of the window because he's here wheezing
immediately. Yeah, spitting up blood.
And let me tell you, as someone who was wheezing literally a year ago, by just getting up, that was some good shit, man. Like I have nightmares thinking about that, and it's good. It's not good, but it's another part of Superman being relatable.
You know, okay, we'll be in spoilers. It's supposed to be this sort of superhero from another country, like a metahuman from the country that he invaded in order to stop them from invading someone. But it's actually Ultraman, which is one of Lex Luthor's lackeys, who is a clone of Superman himself, because he picked up a stray hair from whatever. That's a very Lex Luthor thing to do. But I'm going to tell you this much. I thought Ultraman was going to be Henry Cavill.
Oh, fucking hell.
Could you imagine if it would have been like when all three Spider-Men turned up in No Way Home? It would have been cool. It would have been very cool.
I've got two thoughts in my head that just fucking blew my mind. And one I don't like, but I fucking love the other one. I'm just gonna say it in the spoiler section, but we'll get to the movie later. It was fucked up. I called Ultraman being a clone of Superman in the fucking trailer, and the more we didn't see his face, the more I was like, yep, that's him.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Looked like Brendan Fraser in the first few scenes of The Mummy in there.
Oh my god, that's so true. Oh my god.
Yeah, he does. Just before he cuts his hair and they go on the adventure.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole Ultraman thing, I think it was interesting in that he gets sucked into that sort of other dimension. So are we going to see him later down the line as a member of the Injustice Gang? Are we going to see Superwoman? No, you don't reckon?
It's Bizarro. All the fucking Q-Boys things go into it.
Of course.
That's Bizarro.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
I can see Gunn pulling this and being fuck you to everybody. What if this is it? Like, what if he was sent here to rule, and then Zod comes in and it's Henry Cavill?
Fuck. I was going to suggest Batman, but that would be amazing. If Henry Cavill came back as Zod, that would be one of the most baller shits ever. What an absolute troll of everybody who's ever lived. I know, right? And knows who Henry Cavill is. And Henry Cavill coming back, like when he played the Cavalrine in that little snippet thing. They're like, we'll treat you so much better than those shit fucks down the street. Henry Cavill had to have read that part of the script. He's like, yeah, you would actually, unless I come back as Zod and fucking mind fuck everybody on planet Earth. You know what else it reminds me of, actually, this film? Fucking Sky High. It's just got that kind of poppiness to it, you know? Like, it's obviously much, much better, but but it's, it's still pretty cool. Other spoiler is, do you want to talk about it?
Yeah.
It's Kara Zor-El. And she's fully formed. She's just a character. She turns up, and one of the robots says, nearly called him Master Bruce then. He's like, Superman, your cousin's back. And she walks in a Supergirl costume with a trench coat on, which I'm like, absolutely, this is awesome, this look. And Krypto's her dog. That's why earlier in the film he said it's a foster situation.
Yep.
She's drunk. She goes to other planets that have red suns so that she becomes depowered and is able to get drunk. I don't know what kind of alcohol they've got on these other planets, but I'm excited for that film. I think she's looks the part. She's really well cast.
I fucking love Millie Alcock as Supergirl, man. That snippet of what we saw is exactly what I want from that version of Supergirl, because she cusses, she is tired, she is grieving, and oh lord, is she grieving, man, because he doesn't remember because he was an infant, but she remembers all of it, and she remembers when it went bad. And
she was young when she lost everything enough to cognize it. He doesn't even know his real parents are.
Yeah, and she's stuck in that Arrested Development for so long that she has to have the outlet of alcoholism to just numb it, because unlike him, she isn't that hopeful, because she's seen hopeful people do horrible and genocidal things. I don't know if that's a word.
Genocidal is the word.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry. However,
you don't have to be sorry for not knowing a word like genocidal when English is your third language, dude.
It's my second.
Second, whatever.
Yeah.
If the quality holds true, like Gunn says, script first, always, no release date until we're ready to go. Give it everything you got. be creative and make it your own to the people who are working on it. It's only going to be more interesting stories, and that's all I give a shit about. I fucking love stories. They're my favorite thing ever. It's the best thing that humans do is tell stories. I think it's the most interesting thing anyway. And all this can mean is more really good stories, or at least good stories. You know, they don't have to be really good. They just have to be entertaining enough, like Superman 2025. Was there anything else that you want to talk about before we wrap up?
So I do want to talk about Lex for a bit, because I love how hating he is. At every single point, he looks for the worst in every single situation. And I love that we get a Lex that we can't humanize. They're both similar, which is why he's a great villain.
All the best villains are, yeah. They're similar to their hero counterparts.
I love that in his speech he's not like, I'm gonna kill you or you're done. He, in his speech, is hoping that Lex is able to find his humanity. And that's such an incredible twist of all of that happening, him still being hopeful that he can like cut through and actually save Lex. But Lex is too far gone. The motherfucker opens a rift in time-space to kill this motherfucker, man. Like he starts a war to have an excuse to kill Superman.
That's a bad dude. That's the kind of villain you want. That's the kind of villain that's front-facing, media savvy, and then absolute megalomaniacally evil on the other end of the spectrum, like when he's not showing people his real face. Remarkable. And he's great. Nicholas Holt's great as well. He fucking did the reading. I think he's really good.
I love that he doesn't have an English accent. I thought that he might also, like, he might have like spoken
because he's English.
Yeah, but like also I thought that they might just have Lex Luthor have an English accent. But I'm glad that he didn't.
I mean, it's much of muchness, really. It would be. People would fucking riot in the streets. Are you kidding me? Lex Luthor can't be British, or gay, or black, or a bunch of other stuff I don't like.
Listen. No, I'm not giving things up. Listen, Lex Luthor steals Superman's DNA, makes a baby. This is comic accurate. This is how fucking Superboy exists. Like the Young Justice Superboy. Connor Kent. That's how he fucking exists. Right? Like Lex Luthor steals Superman's DNA, makes a baby, and then like is grown in a fucking echo chamber. Or just like a fucking test. Yes. No, I mean like physically grow, not like grow into a baby. Like physically, he's like kept in a tank. In a tank. Yes, thank you. Yeah. So like he can genuinely just be fucking obsessed and just be like very, very gay for Superman, but he doesn't know it.
That might be the case. He likes to keep a blonde bombshell around, and maybe that's a beard. Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so this is like the biggest gripe I have with this film, except for the Krypton stuff. Mm-hmm. Which, to be genuinely honest, it's exciting to theorize about it. I genuinely don't think James Gunn gives a fuck about what Krypton is in this universe because it's already dead. But yeah, I don't like that he's like go and rule them because it takes away from the connection that I have with Krypton, which is another thing. The one thing I didn't like, every female presenting character in this film, except for Lois, isn't fleshed out much.
Yeah, it's been a lot of people said that. Yeah,
I haven't heard anybody say that though. I'm sorry.
Oh really? Yeah. No, I've heard it quite a bit.
Like of course you need Lois to because like otherwise Superman doesn't have anybody to talk with if Lois isn't fleshed out much. Or we saw that with Amy Adams. She was great, but her Lois wasn't fleshed out much, and it was a real bummer because I was really looking forward to Hawkgirl, and she was great in the action scenes that she was in, and like the little dialogue she has. Kendra Sanders is a very personal character for me because of her history and like dealing with a lot of mental illness. That like her story hits really hard and hits home, and it was a little it's a little disappointing not seeing her actually be a character. Like I think Mr. Terrific is the standout because he feels like a character, and so does Guy Garner. So I don't know why they didn't do the same thing with Hawkgirl. Like, there could be fucking Martian Manhunter in Hawkgirl's position, and it wouldn't really change much. And I hate that because she's incredible.
Maybe they'll give it more of a chance when they get, closer to a Justice League or whatever. Shit, she might get her own movie. You never know.
Yeah, I hope at some point they do. I hope it's not like, because I love the Hall of Justice thing being resembling the one in the show.
Yeah, from Super Friends.
Yeah, and I just love this movie, man. Like, I have my problems with it, but it's so good to love something that's pure and good and ends on hope and like makes you fucking feel shit, man. I'll get into like what my favorite of it was. I haven't talked about it, but the scene where we see the silhouette of Superman rise up from the ashes of the building that's fallen. Fuck me.
It's an Alex Ross painting. It just looks like an Alex Ross painting. Like there's so much of the graphic DNA of Superman is embedded in this, whether it's All-Star Superman or the 90s Jerry Allwade stuff, or it's like you said, that particular image there is straight out of fucking Kingdom Come or something. It looks painted. Yeah, it's they really understood the graphic quality of Superman in a way that he hasn't been understood since I think Richard Donner directed Superman.
Also, fuck me, that is very Kingdom Come. Now that I think about it,
it's almost ripped from the pages of it. It's the cover of the second or third issue where they're coming down out of the fire. Yeah, absolutely. It's beautiful. Cool. Well, do you want to do? You said you had a favorite part. Do you want to do like top 3 favorite bits? One of my favorite moments is kind of a line as well. Anyway, is maybe that's the new punk rock, because it is. It's like I said before. It's fucking absolutely is, and that was where I knew I was jiving with it, because I just thought it. I'm like, oh no, okay, I get this. I'm with it now, and it was good. Took the stupid nerd shackles off.
I'm gonna say the flight sequence and that leads into the opening credits.
So great. So he gets his 80% of his power back and bursts out of the fucking Fortress of Solitude and spins through the frozen tundra. It's beautiful. It's fantastic. I thought that fucking weird close angle thing wouldn't work. It totally works. Totally works.
Oh my god, that was the point. Oh my god, that was the point that I was looking for this entire episode. My biggest criticism of this film, or from the trailers, was I did not like the visual style. I did not like the oversaturation of it. The weird rock cover theme of the John Williams score. I loved it. It didn't bother me at all. Like, as soon as it started, and then he takes the flight, and oh man, I love that every time he flies up, it's the theme, and it's a little different because it's like chopped up. So like the middle part is in the beginning, but then it starts again with the beginning. It's so fun, and like the actual title of it in this film is called Look Up, which is it's so fantastic. Good.
But it's this movie is punk rock because it steals your affection. It's like, oh, okay. Like it totally, it blindsides you with how good it actually is, and what it represents as well. Excellent. For me, Superman waking up and his doggy's on his chest. Like, I'm such a softie. All my moments are sentimental moments. Like, I really enjoyed the action and adventure side of it as well, but the parts that really got me are the ones where he felt the most human. So yeah, that part, and in concert with that, the scene before where she's like, Jonathan gets that way around Clark.
I love every single scene with Hawkgirl and plus Guy Gardner, because he is, and I can understand what you mean, that he's been your Green Lantern for a long time. Because
he's been my Hal Jordan.
Yeah, he's been your Hal Jordan. Yeah. But for me, he's been my Green Lantern because I've seen movies of him voicing Hal Jordan. It was a bummer that he wasn't Hal Jordan, but he's too old for that. Sorry, but he is. But he is so in...
He's probably... Kyle Chandler's probably the same age.
Probably. But yeah.
But that's what they're doing, though. They're having the elder statesmen be the older Lanterns, and then Jon Stewart's the new recruit. He's the rookie. It's a fucking brilliant idea to get everybody in and service all of these Lanterns, but still have the story be, pleasing to all demographics. And Jon Stewart's such a fucking amazing character, and he is Green Lantern for so many people because of that cartoon show,
I fucking remember. I genuinely remember the first time I watched that cartoon, and it was Jon Stewart. I was like, oh my god, I love him.
Yeah.
And it's because he's
a person of color as well.
Yeah.
At that period of time, it would have been fairly unusual.
There's something special about Jon Stewart and Martian Manhunter. Might have to do with the green or whatever, but it's like I'm hopeful and I'm excited to see these characters come to life. Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner and Isabella Marced as Hawkgirl are some of the best comic book castings ever, because they're so right for the part and they play it so incredibly. Like it's hard to play an asshole when you're Nathan Fillion, and he plays it so well.
Yeah, he's very much playing against type, definitely. Cool. My number one favorite moment is my cheer moment when I threw my hands up when he saved the squirrel. I'm like, yes, that's the kind of Superman I want. The kind of Superman who stops to save a squirrel because that life is important and it means something. Every life means something, and that's it really, really warmed my sympathetic heart. So
Superman is not the person who will even for a second debate one life or the other. He is always all like fucking everybody matters because everybody's important and he cares. I don't think Batman cares as much as he does.
No. And did he triage that situation because there were like 3 people who were shitheads and he was like, nah, I'll save the squirrel instead? Probably not, but still, I like the idea that he saw that and took time to rescue it and then gently put it on the ground and then back to work. Like, that's Superman.
Yeah.
That's
and
Superman,
it was
100%.
on set, it was a real squirrel that they shot it with.
Oh! Even better.
They had it
even better.
They had it in a glass cage for when they would roll so it doesn't like run away.
Yeah, of course.
And then he just like holds it and then runs and then puts it back.
Oh, amazing. I'm gonna have to pay close attention to that part when I see it again. I love squirrels. I know they're kind of a pest, but in New York, I just liked walking through Central Park and just looking at them all, and counting them. I saw like 48 one time. It was amazing.
Shit.
Not all together, but over the course of the period I was walking. What's your number one? What's the big one for you?
This is what Superman is, and it's without dialogue. It's just music, and it's in the third act when the Barovian military is invading Jaranpur, and you see a bunch of kids tape a flag together, and over it, it's the Superman emblem, and you hear the score, and the kids start chanting Superman, Superman, and so do the adults. And I cried, man. I'm not lying. I cried. And
even though they telegraphed the shit out of it, like you could see it coming a mile off, but it didn't stop it being impactful. Absolutely not.
Well, it's in the trailer with like the same cuts and everything, and it's still impactful because at the end of the fucking day, for wherever you are, that Superman, it's an ideal to strive towards to be better every single day, no matter what.
Absolutely.
That was punk rock.
No, it is. It's absolutely punk rock, and I love it. It's Superman, James Gunn's Superman from 2025, the kickoff of the new DC cinematic universe, or whatever the fuck it is they want to call it. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. Check it out if you haven't. If you have, I don't know why you're listening to this, but thank you so much for coming along, everybody. We truly do appreciate it. Get some joy in your life and start with this movie. Do we have questions?
Yes, we do. First one from Leanne. Hi.
Hey, Leanne.
Thoughts on Rachel Brosnan's portrayal of Lois Lane? Incredible.
I think she was great. She totally got the tone. She's a human who can go up against the Justice Gang and tell Guy Gardner that he's a dickhead, and then go on an adventure with Mr. Terrific and nearly get trapped in another dimension. And, you know, she's the human that a superhuman being is in love with, you know? Like that says enormous amount. And she's got great moxie. You know, she's real sharp and take no shit. Like she was Lois. She was Lois Lane to a T. Loved it.
Question number 2 from Juan. Who was your favorite character portrayal?
It was Fillion then, like as Guy Gardner, because I was like, oh, they've just put him in. He's just cast his mate to be in it because he was a Green Lantern one other time. That'll be cute. But he had a whole story, an whole arc. He built a character. It meant something. Like, yeah, it was excellent.
I'm gonna steal your answer. It's Krypto.
Krypto? Yeah, that's okay. It's James Gunn's actual dog. I love it.
No, I'm gonna say Hawk Girl because she means a lot. I can't believe that Krypto is like all CG. I fucking can't.
It's, again, like you can't... I mean, obviously, you can cognize that it's not that, but there's some scenes where it's hard to tell, that's for sure. It's just... It's epic CG work. Without killing anybody, hopefully.
Question 3, also from Juan. What is your outlook of the DCU after seeing this movie?
Well, I mean, see the last 2 hours of the podcast. I think my first comment about it, me being excited that they can all be different things is really... The core of my interest in what's going to happen now is like, oh, fuck, I wonder what the next one will look like, as opposed to I wonder where this continuing story is going to go. I'm just interested to see what they do individually.
I'm hopeful and I'm excited. I'm genuinely counting the days till we get to Teen Titans, man, because that's where the shit's at, and I know it's going to take about 15 years or so, but I'm waiting for the day that I'm like 80 years old and like on my head is you in a I don't know what the fuck I'm saying, man. Like my head's in a jar on top of your head. Yeah, and we're both talking to each other.
And we're still podcasting and I'm over 100. Fucking hope so. That'd be awesome.
And we get to see almost the entirety of Tom Taylor's Nightwing story. That'd be cool.
Yeah, 100%.
If you could replace 3 members of the Justice Gang, who would they be?
Replace them with other Justice Leaguers.
Like other DC characters, probably.
Blue Beetle and Booster Gold.
Mm.
Because they're a great odd couple tag team. And the Renee Montoya version of The Question. That's
cool. So question number 5, favorite performance from the film?
But instead of doing the obvious thing, I'm going to say the actress who plays Miss Tessmacher.
Mm.
She's so great. She's just... I thought it was going to be really annoying. As soon as I saw one taking selfies, I'm like, fuck you. Do we really need to have that in it? And then she was so insane. And I love that character from the original as well. So, yeah, I'd like to say her. I'm sorry I don't know the name of the actress.
Mine is Eddie Gathetti as Mr. Terrific, man. That he stole the show.
Yeah.
And he had no right being so fucking incredible and cool. And so effortless in his actions. Like in his action sequence.
Mm.
Like he's
the smoothest motherfucker on the planet.
And also, like, his whole motivation for helping Lois is because of the piss off guy. It's fucking incredible.
And that's also the first time that you sort of see that kind of thing. Like, he's not an Iron Man and he's not this. He's just a human who's like the smartest guy on earth. And he's just got these T-sphere things. And you haven't seen that before. Like, that fight scene was incredible. Like, it's the one that stuck out because it was holy shit, you know? Really, really cool.
I also love that Lois calls her your circles, and he's like, circles? T-spheres. Circles are flat.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. And where Krypto destroys one, he's like, they're really expensive. Like, it's really shitty about it. Because you fucking would. Can you fucking curb your dog for crying out loud? My goodness.
And he comes back on where Superman's helping. Superman's talking to Mr. Terrific, and they're looking at the rift, and he's talking about Krypto. It's like, you brought the dog, man.
Yeah. Excellent.
Question number 6. Chaz.
What's up, Chaz?
What's up, Chaz? Yo, send me like a picture of you with your samurai sword, man. I've forgotten what it looks like. No, that's not a euphemism.
That's sexually threatening. Jesus Christ. Send me a fucking picture. Oh, it's Disney Plus. No, it's not. It's just me being dirty. Send me a picture of your fucking samurai sword. I want to see it unsheathed.
He's a mad motherfucker. Might actually fucking do it.
Yeah, he probably will. He'll do something sexual with a sword. I fucking guarantee it.
Pulls it out of his ass.
Fucking number one fan. Much love. What is his question?
Yeah, his question is, it's always the Chaz questions, man.
Well, he brings it out in this. He's kind of like the unofficial, third member. He's our Jiminy Cricket, but he's a filth monger.
All right. Chaz asks, what director known for primarily doing only one genre would you love to see try something different?
Wow, it's funny. James Wan kind of did it, didn't he? He was primarily known for horror and then went on to do Aquaman. Yeah, okay. Well, in that case, because I was talking about James Wan, let's talk about his Australian compatriot, the guy that he wrote and saw with, the actor and now director Lee Winnell, who's been doing, horror pictures and, sort of graphic horror sci-fi for a while. Upgrade and Invisible Woman and Invisible Man and The Wolfman. Yeah, get him in doing like a fucking, I don't know, like a sports movie or something, like a boxing film or whatever. Like that'd be really cool because his visual style is really, really cool, but it's always played the same way. Something brighter would be really interesting. A fucking rom-com, why not?
Yeah, that'd be awesome actually.
He's a great director. He's one of our best exports. He also famously threw up in Paris Hilton's limo, which I think is hysterical. Such an Australian thing to do.
And the last one is from Kike. Do you think his Kryptonian rod is average or is he packing?
I don't know what the yellow sun does to your package. Maybe when he came here, it was like a fucking fun-sized Mars bar. And now it's like one of those chunky Kit Kats that's just a big Kit Kat.
Oh, like big, the one with the filling.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. But yeah, no, I think he's packing. Absolutely. You don't put on underwear on the outside if you've got a small dick.
You put it on because it's hanging to the knee and you can cover it up. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, man.
He's got it tucked into his boot. Superman's got a weird leg. Oh, that's his dick tucked into his boot. Lois Lane is punk rock if she's taken that beast. My goodness gracious. Bizarre. Well, there you go, friends. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Thank you, everybody, for writing in. We do appreciate you all our fans and friends. Superman 2025. It's a good time. Check it out because good times are in short supply. I love you, mate. Thank you so much for doing the Supermans with me. I'm so glad that you enjoyed it. When you sent me the message, you were like, I cried twice. I was like, yes. I don't know. There was just something in me that was like, I knew you'd love it. I just felt it. It had Addy written all over it. It was just big, sweet, genuine Superman, big-hearted shit. And it was great to hear that you felt that. In grand Superman-like fashion, when you're getting around in the world, try to do the best you can. Be kind to one another. And remember, fuck hate.
Love wins.